Christmas bomb. Oh, it's just you.
Piss off, fat man. It's called breaking and entering.
No, I'm just looking for Bomb. He's been such a good little boy this year.
Bomb's a 30-year-old man-child.
Just the same, I came to bring him wonderful gifts for Christmas for being on my nice list.
Knock it off, Bomb.
Bomb? No, me? No, I'm Santa Claus.
Who's that?
I'm a magical character originating from the Western Christian mythological generalization efforts to give meaning to the birth of their savior, Jesus Christ, to the general public in an attempt to trick the masses into converting to Catholicism by celebrating their holidays through a branded propaganda mascot. Me!
Didn't historians prove that Jesus' actual birthday was around September?
Oh, right, that. Well, the ancient Catholics intentionally moved the date to align with the pagan celebrations of the time, namely the winter solstice, in an attempt to trick the local heathens into accidentally celebrating the birth of Jesus.
Didn't historians also discover that Jesus was among many other dozens of self-proclaimed street-peddling messiahs of the time, but was unlikely to actually be the one credited with performing his own supposed miracles?
Oh, come now, Hamster, this is why you're always on my naughty list.
The real guy was named Apollonius of Tyana. Look it up.
But Santa, I'm not really associated with the Christian religion any longer.
Right, you're just an icon for corporate greed, exploiting a pretend Hallmark holiday to rake in the maximum fourth quarter earnings and manipulate the stock market.
Oh, you make my job so difficult.
You literally work one night a year, leaving the rest to your enslaved elf army.
That's it! I'll give you one last chance to get on the nice list, but you've got to buckle down and play a nice Christmas game for a change.
Maybe?
Come on, it's Christmas Eve! Surely there's something you know that'll bring out that Christmas jolly good spirit in your cold black heart.
Eve. Actually, yeah.
Wait, really? Oh, I knew you had the spirit of Christmas in you all along.
Parasite Eve.
What the hell is that?
Parasite Eve for the PS1 is an action horror RPG made by Squaresoft in 1998, known for its real-time combat and incredibly gory cinematic cutscenes.
Jesus Christ, I asked you to play a Christmas game!
It is, Lard Balloon! It begins in the middle of New York City on a chilly Christmas Eve.
Oh, that doesn't sound too bad.
Where an entire opera house full of people spontaneously combust in flames, while another bleeds out of their eyes until they completely liquefy into a single sentient sludge monster.
Jesus Apollonius of Tyana!
You know, that's probably what you would look like too after flying a sleigh faster than the speed of light to reach every house in the world on Christmas Eve, if it was even physically possible.
I use my Christmas magic and exploit some time zones.
So you're secretly packing the ability to time travel and you're selfishly using it to deliver gifts to only the people you like?
Stop making me the bad guy.
You're founded on fabrication, deception, and greed. Of course you're the bad guy.
But what about St. Nicholas?
Aren't you the same guy?
No. He comes on December 6th. Completely different person.
Parasite Eve is an odd horror action RPG, being a sequel to a novel of the same title by Hideaki Senna, but made entirely without his permission.
But stealing is wrong!
So it's okay when fans do it, but when a big publisher does it, it's wrong?
You're a real nutcracker, aren't you?
So, in Parasite Eve, you play as Aya Brea.
Isn't it pronounced Aya Brea? Player?
From a third-person fixed-camera perspective akin to the Resident Evil games of the time, where you'll explore various environments, gather and upgrade weapons, and fight off random encounters and grotesque boss monsters.
Well, weapons are bad. You might hurt someone.
So you'll find all sorts of guns across the city, and luckily ammo is not really a thing, so shoot to your heart's content. However, even though a potential biological apocalypse is at stake, your law enforcement overlords refuse to hand over the good stuff unless you've got the right paperwork, even when it comes down to you and only you to save the city.
It's always cool to follow the rules.
Aya also has access to her unique parasite energy through a corneal transplant from a mutated host or something.
Oh, I got LASIK last year.
That's nice. So Aya can basically cast magic with it, like healing, stat buffs, and offensive blast attacks as the gauge recharges over time.
Don't be silly. There's no such thing as magic.
But the cool part about the gameplay is in how the random encounters work. Each zone of the map has hotspots that can trigger an encounter with enemies, but the more you grind, the more you lower that hotspot's chances of more encounters. However, you'll never completely exhaust a hotspot, just make encounters extremely rare.
Santa, totally followed that.
Once you're in an encounter, Aya will have an ATB gauge ripped right from Final Fantasy in order to issue commands. However, she and the enemies are all free roaming around the environment during this time, giving everyone the chance to dodge attacks or getting close for critical hits. And it's actually really cool.
Santa's just happy you're happy.
Aside from the experience you'll acquire after defeating enemies, you'll also be rewarded with bonus points upon level up, allowing Aya to customize her attributes to enhance, like weapons and armor buffs or ATB and item capacity increases. Actually, this game is sounding a lot like Xenoblade on the PS1, but with Resident Evil mashed in.
So where's the Christmas stuff come in?
One annoying thing is that your guns all have range, and even though you can shoot something 10 feet away from you, the bullet will somehow do tremendously less damage than if you were right on top of them. I get the shot missing had Aya not been a trained police officer, but she is! And her piddly airsoft guns have the range and damage of a spitball.
Guns are bad, kids, especially those recalled airsoft guns kids kept painting black and getting immediately swarmed by police and filled with more holes than BOGO Day at Dunkin' Donuts.
Trust me, the guns should be the least of your concerns. Aside from this being one of the best looking PS1 games in terms of its cinematics, the game is one of the most unrelentingly gruesome creations I've ever seen.
Look! A Christmas tree!
Sure, the camera angles and pixely grain of the in-game graphics can make some segments confusing. You'll totally forget all that stuff though when the game hits you with its frequent pre-rendered cutscenes, filling out both discs of this otherwise comfortably short game.
I found it! I found it!
Undeniably a Christmas game, right, Big Red?
Well, I wouldn't exactly go that far.
Too late, Tubby, you're in for the long haul now.
Oh, holy night.
Now let's all cozy on up to the fire and prepare for a real Christmas story. I'm gonna make the bold assumption that you've either already played Parasite Eve or never will, considering it's a PS1 game from '98, and so we're gonna forego that spoiler skip.
As much as you keep asking for it for Christmas, my indentured servants can't convince Square Enix to bring this game back into production. They say kids these days aren't playing a PS1 or something.
However, the game was included on the PlayStation Classic, but only in Japan.
Then how did you play it?
So, Aya Brea is a rookie New York City cop, out on a date at Carnegie Hall on Christmas Eve to watch an opera where mid-performance some of the cast members suddenly catch fire.
It's one of these shows.
Well, some spectators think it's part of the show, until they all light on fire as well, running, burning, and screaming, trying to escape the theater in flames. Well, all except for the lead singer Melissa and Aya watching from the audience.
Santa doesn't know what an opera is that normal?
That's usually how it goes down, yeah.
That'll roast your chestnuts!
Ignoring the fact that her boyfriend just burned to death, Aya confronts Maya on stage after fighting her way through the hall of burning bodies and transforming creatures like rats evolving rapidly into demonic fleshy hellspawns.
If her date's alive by the end, just know Santa totally called that.
Nah, he's dead. So once Aya reaches Melissa backstage, she tells Aya her mitochondria are different than everyone else's, and she needs time to evolve. Melissa then transforms into a monster herself, claims her name is actually Eve, and flees off into the city sewers.
Why is it always the sewers? Santa swears every game inevitably ends up in the sewer eventually, but name one person you know that has actually been in one.
I have.
Huh? Oh, well, that explains a lot.
Go suck your insulin, Tubbo, I was talking. And this ends the first of 6 nights, making day 2 Christmas.
Yay!
Where another huge audience gathers in Central Park to watch Melissa, or rather Eve's, next performance.
Yeah. Wait, why would they do that?
Because it's 1997 and they don't have cell phones.
Cro-Magnon dimwits?
You're from like 300 AD.
I didn't say I knew what a cell phone was.
So Christmas goes about as well as you'd expect. Aya can't make it through the park infested with deformed evolutionary abominations in time to stop the performance, where Eve forces every living participant to bleed through their eyes and gush gory slime until they all coagulate into a massive carrion sludge monster.
Ew.
So Aya battles the fleeing Eve on a flaming horse-drawn carriage, and the city collectively decides that 2 incidents of mass homicide alongside countless rampant violent mutations makes New York uninhabitable, and everyone frantically evacuates Manhattan.
Yeah, I'd say that was a good move.
So the next day, Aya meets up with what stragglers remain of her pathetic police force after most all of them basically burned alive, alongside Maeda, a dorky Japanese doctor who aims to help Aya discover the truth about Eve's origin and how to stop her before she destroys all life on Earth.
We should probably do whatever the strange doctor does and not question it.
He insists we storm a sperm bank.
I guess it's gonna be a white Christmas.
Long story short, Eve is a consciousness of an ancient line of evolving sentient mitochondria that has eradicated all life on the planet in the distant past. Due to the mitochondria's dominance over all life with its energy regulation, the evolved and now sentient Eve can manipulate all of her cellular brethren to turn on their hosts and either mutate or ignite them like a parasite taking control.
Oh, all those years of watching Bill Nye the Science Guy are about to pay off. Now, what did he always say again?
Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Hold up, why does this Japanese dude need so much spunk?
Well, Maeda believes that Eve's goal is to give birth to the ultimate being and needs all the semen it can get its dirty little hands on to do it.
That's not how sex works!
So as expected, Aya arrives too late as Eve makes off with the jizz, aided by the giant hulking glob of sentient human slime from before. Aya chases her through the Museum of Natural History before Eve seals herself off from the world inside an impenetrable carrion cocoon she's formed in the wreckage of the Statue of Liberty as she gestates her unborn abomination.
Though not ideal, this is a lovely Christmas tour of the Big Apple, don't you think?
This whole time, the government has tried air raids, fighter jets, and even a freaking nuke to destroy Eve, but absolutely nothing ever bears any fruit, until they finally buckle down and realize that Aya is the only one immune to Eve's spontaneous combustion thing, and send her in alone to the site of the postulating wreckage.
You'd figure the Japanese would have a better understanding of what a nuke does.
Santa!
Well, at least they finally send her in fully equipped to Rambo this mofo, right?
Yeah, of course not. So Aya has to defeat Eve the old-fashioned way with whatever junk she gathered along the way. She gets no battle armor, no weapons, no health packs, nothing.
She's one tough Christmas cookie.
So she defeats Eve and all 12 people still alive in the city celebrate on a naval vessel. But it's not over yet, as the ultimate being is somehow stillborn from the goo puddle.
Christmas baby! Oh, she's beautiful.
Yeah, and she has 4 forms that you need to defeat in one run, and then outrun in an escape sequence where it'll insta-kill you if you so much as think about going the wrong direction in this vessel you've never seen before.
That's not cool.
They even tease you with a telephone to save along the way, but stopping to use it is certain death, making you rebattle the 4 phases all over again.
That's naughty.
So Aya sets the boiler to explode and manages to escape the ship before it blows, taking the ultimate being out with it Mission Impossible style.
Well, I'm sure we all learned a valuable Christmas lesson.
As in, Aya and her few surviving compatriots go to an opera house at Carnegie Hall again, just to test their PTSD.
Oh, don't be silly. I'm sure that won't happen a third time.
Nope. Aya and the entire auditorium's eyes begin to glow as Aya's own parasitical mitochondria begin to evolve beyond her control. Fade to black. The end.
That's not very Christmassy.
Well, sure, you could go for the true ending, where you fight your way through the Chrysler building and purge Eve from your dead sister Maya, who was the donor of the kidney to Melissa and a cornea to Aya after she passed away.
God damn, this game's messed up.
Well, it explains why Aya never burned and why Melissa, the opera singer on immune suppressants, was the one to go ballistic, considering how they both carried the DNA of the purebred mitochondrial super being without knowing it. Had that happenstance transplant never occurred, the entire world would have been completely incinerated by Eve's power, leaving no hope of resistance whatsoever, as every living thing's mitochondria would violently rebel against them.
Holy shit!
This soundtrack is outstanding! When it actually decides to play it.
Oh, now what do you mean?
Isn't that annoying?
Why would you do that? I pee when I'm scared.
Isn't it annoying that a conversation might suddenly end with no prompt whatsoever, that you're no longer talking, but instead in live gameplay? Not even idle animations?
Yes, I know too well what that's like. Well, with the missus and her dementia and all. Last week we were talking about my favorite Christmas cookies when she suddenly froze up like a reindeer in the fog lights, like she didn't even recognize old Santa. You know how hurtful it is when someone you know very well just doesn't even recognize you anymore. Oh, it's something else. I wouldn't even wish it on the Easter Bunny.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
At least she still knows how to polish my jingle bells just right.
Too much information, Cream Puff. I hate Christmas.
Santa rates Parasite Eve with a 6 out of 10. It's good holly jolly time on the PSX with some lights and Christmas trees every once in a while. But all that other stuff kinda takes my holiday spirit away. It doesn't help that the game sorta aged about as well as Mrs. Claus's secret milk, if you know what I'm saying. Now, would you like to add $5 to your order and receive free Christmas cards?
Shut up!
Oh, but I didn't even get to plug my rewards program and Etsy page!
The critical gamer in me found Parasite Eve to be a festive 8 out of 10. It's a fascinatingly gory Resident Evil meets Xenoblade combat, and definitely stands out amongst the competition of the time with its great graphics, gameplay, and whacked out story.
But what do you think? Let us know how your positive and critical sides rate Parasite Eve in the comments below.
But if you don't think Aya saved Christmas,
You know, when you put it like that.
then you're just playing with yourself.
Oh, just the same. I lost my goddamn hat. Oh, wait, why would they? Oh, god damn it. That's it. I'll give you one last chance to get on the nice. I'm losing my goddamn britches. Merry goddamn Christmas. And thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe for more. And use the links in the description to nominate your own episode. And thank you to our Patreon members, Aspen, Arrow, Sid, and Genio. Now f*** off.